Turner, the lone setback with 2 wideouts. Zugauer back to pass. Woods throws across the middle of the field, and the pass is complete, I believe.
That was a great pass by Zugauer.
To the tight end, number 38, Birdie Knowles.
He had 4 Orchard Park Quakers around him, and he couldn't throw the ball overhand. He had to sidearm it in there.
So an excellent pass by Zugauer. It's a gain of about 6. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. Lockport comes to the line. Turner, the lone setback, once again, 2 wideouts. Zugauer, the pitch to Turner. Going to try the right side. And stopped after about a loss on the play of 1. So Stevens stringing it out and making a nice hit. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Super play there. You get your nose tackle all the way to the sideline to get in on that tackle.
Well, definitely. Anytime your nose tackle strings it out to the sidelines, you know he's a good one. Fighting off a couple blocks and making an excellent tackle is number 55, Steve Stevens. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for Lockport. Zugauer under center. Turner, the lone setback. Zugauer back to pass. He wanted to throw a quick out, and I believe that one was... And he was sacked. I almost thought it was batted down. Almost a good play by Zugauer. He saw someone in his face. He elected to pull it down and tuck it under and protect the ball. And I believe Stevens was there to make the sack, so another good play by him.
We give Stevens a sack there, but there was 4 or 5 Orchard Park Quakers all over him.
So Knowles back to punt, a short punt. And Orchard Park player going to grab it around the 41-yard line. That is number 19, Jeffrey Wade. So Orchard Park in good field position at their own 41-yard line. But going back to that earlier play, Zugauer saw he had the pressure. He just tucked it under and decided to protect the ball. As he was looking at number 88, Justin Drew, who was the wideout at the bottom of your screen. He was open, but Zugauer just had to tuck that ball under.
A good, not what you want to do, Ron, but the smart move there. He throws that. Most chances are it's an interception. And why make things worse?
Well, we have a timeout by Orchard Park. That is their first of the second half. Coach Stan Alvin probably wanting to give them a little breather, talk some things over, mainly about holding on to that ball. You don't want to give them Rockport good field position here. As we mentioned, the other Class A game tomorrow afternoon pits North Tonawanda against Sweet Home. That one is at Sweet Home. And the winner of that game will most likely face Orchard Park in Rich Stadium.
Well, that should be a good matchup, Joe. Ron. You got the number 2 Sweet Home Panthers and North Tonawanda, who got into the playoffs, number 10. So it'll be a doozy.
That'll be a tough game, no doubt. As Kalinowski goes in motion, gets down at the left side of the line, cross parking out the signals, trying to draw Lockport offsides. They give it to the up man, and stopped for a gain of 0 was number 21, David Lalomia. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Well, Coach Elvin right now is just saying he's not really worried about first downs here. He's saying wrap up that ball and hang out for dear life. Well, the Orchard Park offense, nothing fancy here. They're just going to try to run out the clock, right up the middle.
Definitely run the ball left, run the ball right, run the ball center, kill some time off that clock.
Be shocked to see a pass.
Kalinowski goes in motion once again, settles down at the right side of the line. Look for a run right here by Orchard Park. As they do a little delay to Cedric Smith, and he's ahead for, once again, no gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. With the smart move, keeping the ball on the ground and chewing some time off of that clock.
Oh, Ron, about just a little over 7.5 minutes left with the clock running.
The only scoring here in the second half, a 5-yard touchdown run by Cedric Smith to give Orchard Park a 28-0 lead.
Lockport defense just trying to get the ball, tackle the ball.
Trying to do anything, cause a turnover, get the ball back. Orchard Park going with 2 wideouts. Single back formation. And they're going to go with the quick kick. A smart play by Orchard Park as it's going to be down at around the 30-yard line of Lockport. Number 21, David Lalomia, getting down there to down it. The punter was number 4. I don't have a number. Not quite sure who that was. Maybe our mystery player for this week. So we'll see what Lockport comes out with here. Probably put it up in the air, Zugalder.
Well, I'll tell you, Ron, this is where it's fun to be a defensive lineman because you just sit there when the ball snapped, you're headed right for that pocket. Nobody's going to stop you.
Definitely, this is when you're in attack mode. You know what's coming. Zugalder back to pass, and he is going to be sacked once again by who else? Number 55, Steve Stevens in on another sack. Just shedding the center away. That would be Eric Schulten making a fine play. It's going to be a loss of about 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 15.
Well, Ron, they call him Steve. You can't stop him, Stevens, and he's living up to it.
Definitely is here tonight. Lockport with the back split. 2 wideouts to the bottom of your screen. Zugalder back to pass. He's going to throw it out. And his pass is complete to number 88, Justin Drew, for a gain of about 5. So they pick up the 5 they lost in the sack, and it'll make 3rd and 10. A quick hitter. Almost looked like it was going to be batted down at the line of scrimmage. Kalinowski getting his paws up again.
Yep. Well, Orchard Park has Kalinowski on that side with the Lockport quarterback being the lefty. He's right in his face on the short drop, as you'll see here.
Yes, you see, Kelly may have gotten a piece of that. Because the ball seemed to wobble once it went by him. But in any case, the backs are split. 2 wideouts to the top of your screen. 3rd and 10 for Lockport. Zugalder back to pass. Looks, throws downfield. It's going to be overthrown. And incomplete. Krishon trying to get back there to make an interception. It's going to bring up a 4th and 10 for Lockport, and they will have to go for it here. I see a lot of substitutions. They may punt. As I see number 38, Bertie Knowles, the punter, coming in. So Lockport opting to get rid of the ball and not give Orchard Park great field position. 5:11 left here in the 4th quarter. 28-0 Orchard Park. Knowles the punt. Gets it away. It's a high, short punt. Going to bounce it around the 50 and be down at about the 48 by number 62, Ray Mullen. So the Quakers will come out on offense with 5:02 left here in the game.
Well, it's going to be maybe a carbon copy of the last drive.
Well, the fans getting a little rowdy here at Orchard Park as the We Will Rock You theme is being played. As most of the fans are just going to sit back and enjoy this one now. I'm sure we'll see a lot of substitutions here on the Orchard Park side, trying to get some players in there. We've seen a lot of Cedric Smith here in the 2nd half, taking over late in the 3rd, early 4th quarter as the featured back, getting some fresh legs in there. They come out with Lalomia and Giglio in the backfield, and we have flags, and it's going to be against Orchard Park. Delay of game is the call. So that'll bring up a 1st and 15. As you see substitutions, 66, 63, and 60 coming in on the offensive line. Jason Winicky, Jeremy Petrus, and Doug Nixon all getting their shot in on the offensive line. A well-deserved hand for the Orchard Park offensive line, who has created lots of running room for Eli Santiago and plenty of passing time for Jake Ross today.
I think the ref is looking to put some more time back on the clock.
And that is what he's doing. It'll go up to 4:32. It was at 4:15. number 4 is in a quarterback. I'm sorry that I don't have his name. And that'll be Dan Bolin and a quarterback. He gives to Giglio, and he's met for a big loss.
Another slew of changes coming in here, Ron.
Sorry,
a few too many to mention.
As you see, I see wholesale changes. Kyle Krozik coming in. He's a fullback. As you see, Malomia leaving. You see number 70, Mark Murray leaving. Number 32, David Lang leaving. And the big guy, number 82, Rick Sateric, taking a breather, and he's probably out for the remainder of this game.
You can see on the sideline 2 of the big cogs in the Orchard Park machine there. Steve Stevens and
Dan
Rick
Bolin
Sateric.
fumbles the ball. Lockport is pointing in the direction that they have it, and it looks like they do. So Danny Bolin fumbles the snap, and Orchard Park fumbles away the ball on their own 39-yard line. Lockport will take over. And that happens so often when you have a new quarterback and a new center in there, really not used to one another, and that center quarterback exchange sometimes is a little off, and you saw it right there, Danny Bolin unable to handle the snap. I didn't quite see who the center was on that play, but in any case, Lockport will take over the ball, and they also have a new quarterback in the game, number 16, Steve Pritchard. And he's going to drop back, and he's going to fire outside. We've seen that play quite a few times, usually going to Justin Drew. That time, number 89 was the wideout, Jason Hickey. And Pritchard throws it low and incomplete. And a little scare there, someone letting an M80 or something go off. Pretty loud, it startled me a little, as it did everybody here in the press box as they took a quick glance. But 3:03 left here in the game, 28-0 Orchard Park.
Well, it's good to see, Ron, that both teams, everyone getting a chance to get in there, getting in on a playoff game.
Pritchard under center. Going to drop back the pass. Throws outside, and he caught the pass. That was number 83, David Haynes, I think. Actually, number 89, Jason Hickey on the completion. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 2.
Well, Pritchard, a junior, getting a little action here, looking forward to next year.
Well, Zugeller is a senior, so I'll probably just giving Pritchard a little work for next year.
A little change into the guard, Ron.
Pritchard under center. Going to hand off to Turner, and he's ahead for the first down after a gain of about 7 yards. And move the chains, a first down for Lockport. Tackle made by number 77, Ben Slotman. So a 1st and 10 with 2:34 left here in the ball game. Orchard Park ahead of the Lockport Lions, 28-0.
Well, Ron, a chance here for Lockport to, as you see, we'll run down the Orchard Park record this year. They beat St. Joe's, that 7-6 win at Lockport, and they lost to Jamestown 26-21, a very good game. And they beat Lancaster, West Seneca East, North Tonawanda, West Seneca West, and Frontier to become Section 6 Division I champions.
As you see, their only loss to Jamestown, the team Lockport had to beat last week to get in. So Pritchard going to go under center. Backs are split, 2 wideouts to the top of your screen. 1st and 10, Lockport. Pritchard seen this slip a little. He's flushed out of the pocket and throws. And I believe that's another completion. That time to number 26, Frank Crane. And that will bring up or they call that incomplete, Mike?
I think they did call it incomplete there, Ron.
Okay, one official seen this indicate that it was a catch. The other coming in saying no, he trapped the ball. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. That was intended for Frank Crane. Pritchard was flushed out of the pocket. on that play, had to hurry to throw. And there's flags all over the place, and that'll be illegal procedure movement on Lockport.
It was number 89, Jason Hickey, just a step ahead of the play there.
So they'll mark that one back 5 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 15. Lots of substitutions. They're still going to throw the ball, though. They're letting Pritchard drop back and fire the ball.
Well, this just sets up it's going to be a great game. Sweet Home or North Tonawanda next week at Rich against Orchard Park.
Lockport comes to the line, 2nd and 15. Pritchard under center, going to drop back the pass. Gives the handoff to the right side. Not quite sure to who, but it's a gain of about 5 yards. They'll pick up the loss and the penalty. Try to see who that is. And that is number 26, Frank Crane. Crane in week 2 definitely got his share of work at 6 carries for 48 yards. We really didn't see much of him as Turner picked up the slack for Lockport in the second half of the season. As we said, he was ineligible the first 3 weeks, came back in week 4, and he has scored 8 of Lockport's last 11 touchdowns, but he was unable to get in the end zone tonight, as was anybody else on the Lockport side.
And here you look at a fine season by the Lockport Lions. They beat Kenmore West in week 1, who was just missed the playoffs themselves. They lost the squeaker to Orchard Park. They beat Lancaster, then West Seneca East, and St. Joe's. Beat Frontier, and lost to North Tonawanda 16-13. And finish it off with the big win against Jamestown.
So their 2 losses to Orchard Park and North Tonawanda, both division teams. And this will be their 2nd loss of the season to Orchard Park, a hard pill to swallow. But Pritchard is going to go back to pass. He's got some time, going to throw, and almost caught. A great attempt by number 82, Jeff Recurn, and he almost came up with that pass. As he cut across the middle of the field, and Pritchard seemed to have some time. In any case, it's going to bring up a 4th and 11. And what could be Lockport's last offensive play of the game. Orchard Park making more substitutions on defense.
Well,
as Pritchard is forced out of the pocket, he's going to throw it downfield, incomplete, intended once again for 82, Jeffrey Kern.
Well, tell you what, Ron, that won't be the last play we see from Lockport tonight. As making the substitutions, Orchard Park player just was about 2 steps still on the field. Didn't quite get off before the play started.
Well, number 64, Bill Witzelman, he was running, trying to get off the field. And he was about 5 yards from hitting the sideline when Pritchard had the ball snapped to him, and the official was right there to throw the flag for too many men on the field. And instead of 4th and 11, or actually turning over the ball, it's going to be 4th and 6, and they get one more crack here on 4th down. As they like to term this place the House of Pain. This will be the last game of the year at the House of Pain, as Orchard Park will be traveling to Rich Stadium next week. Richard back the pass. Going to throw across the middle of the field again. And very close to an interception is number 29, Eric Toohey, was right there. And Orchard Park will take over on downs with 2:03 left here in the 4th quarter. So they'll just try to run the clock out here and get back to that warm locker room.
Yeah. Well, Ron, like we said many times tonight, nothing fancy. Just a quick, late substitution. It ain't gonna quite make it.
Well, number 60, Doug Nixon, was running in. He's gotta be in a set position. That's gonna be a movement on Orchard Park. False start. As you'll see that when there's lots of substitutions coming in and out. Coaches trying to keep track of who they have on the field. They saw that time they had one too few players out there, and they tried to send Nixon out, but he was a little late in getting to the line of scrimmage. So Bolin under center with 2:01 left here in the fourth quarter. Gonna give the handoff to Giglio, got some running room. He's got some room, he may be in the open and brought down. An excellent tackle coming from behind by number 83. That is David Haynes. But Giglio definitely finding some running room to the right side of the Lockport defensive line.
Well, I think we're just seeing the incredible depth at running back that Orchard Park has.
Well, as we mentioned, we've covered Orchard Park a few times this year, and we've seen them go to Giglio quite a few times. This time, the backfield was Lolomia and Santiago. Santiago had a good game in week 2 against Lockport, so they went with him again today. And they give to Giglio once again, and he is stopped for a loss of about 3 yards.
Well, Ron, the celebration has begun officially on the Orchard Park sideline.
Well, definitely.
And you see Soteric up there, Barry standing on the bench, just enjoying the moment.
Well, a lot of the Orchard Park fans huddling up against that fence. As it's definitely a great day for Orchard Park fans, as they are leading 28-0 with 50 seconds and counting left here in the game. Bolin under center. He's going to run a play action and keep it himself and break a tackle. Try to get to the outside, tripped up after a gain of no yards. But more importantly, we'll keep the clock running.
35 seconds and counting, Ron.
As everybody's happy, fans are jumping over the fence. As you see, next week, Orchard Park will take on the winner of the North Tonawanda Sweet Home game, that at Rich Stadium, and how exciting it is for Orchard Park. Playing in Rich Stadium next week.
Some happy
10
fans.
and counting. As they count it down, fans along the sideline with the players. 2 seconds, 1. Orchard Park is on their way to Rich with a 28-0 victory over the Lockport Lions. We'll be back to wrap up this game. You're watching high school football on Jones Intercable, Cable Channel 10.
You're facing one tough opponent. Hits below the belt could paralyze you, with accidents that cripple your workforce, with attitudes that crumple staff morale. On-the-job drug and alcohol abuse. It'll bleed you dry. Take a stand and fight. Knock drug and alcohol abuse out of business. Join the BKO.
As you take a look at the Orchard Park Quakers out on the field, definitely celebrating as we hear Queen singing "We Are the Champions." Orchard Park is certainly that with a 28-0 victory here over Lockport Lions. Let's recap the scoring in the second quarter as you take a look at the House of Pain, and it certainly was the House of Pain this year. As we're going to go to the scoring in the second quarter, Ellie Santiago with a 9-yard touchdown run, Kalinowski a 10-yard touchdown pass from Cross, and then the reverse throw from Krishon, a 33-yarder to Soteric, and then in the second half, a 5-yard touchdown run by Cedric Smith. That was all the points, a 28-0 victory here for Orchard Park.
Well, Ron, we have just bedlam on the field as the Orchard Park fans enjoying this big victory with the players.
Well, I take my hat off to Coach Dan Elvin and his staff. A great season by the Orchard Park Quakers. The final here, Orchard Park 28, Lockport 0. They're on their way to Rich. Thank you for joining us. Saying so long. For Michael Courtney, I'm Ron Vetrano. So long and have a good evening.